Kim let out an involuntary cry of pain as she was thrown back in her clinicky white cell. She got to her feet and charged at the Global Justice Guards who had tossed her into the room. The door slid shut and sealed just as she reached it. Kim screamed in rage again and slammed her fist against the door before dragging herself over to a small bunk, throwing herself on it. It had been days since Paris, and during this time, Kim's life had been reduced to an unending string of prolonged, humiliating agonies. She hadn't seen Ron or her family in all of that time, and after only being told by Will Do that the Possibles and the Stoppables and Wade were being held protectively in custody for the time being. So aside from meals and the occasional bathroom break, there had been a series of cinematic attempts to force Faye out of hiding. Everything from sleep deprivation to prolonged drugging had been used. Today, however, they had upped their game. "It's not working, sir," Will said, over to the phone with ICAD 1, raising his voice over to be heard from the screams coming from behind the security door. Up the voltage then," ICAD 1 said. "I want Morgan by the end of the week, due." "Yes, sir, I understand that, but if we push too hard, we're going to have permanent damage, and we don't know how much punishment one will take effect on the other." "Noted," Agent Dew said, "which is why I haven't been authorized on any of the Class C interrogation methods. I'll give you 2 more days. If there's no process, we may have to move more drastic methods in the meantime." "Yes, sir." Dew hung up the phone, and then pressed the button for the intercom in the room. "Up the voltage." The volume of screens increased, monologuing all the way through the glass into the observation room. Dew forced himself to watch every minute of it. Kim tugged on down her hospital gown they made her wear and turned towards the wall, not giving them the satisfaction of seeing how much it was getting to her. She was tired, hurting, and plotting horrible bloody vengeance for when she finally got out of there. "Good for you, it's about time." Kim's eyes suddenly snapped open, and she was forced to remain in her current position. She hadn't heard from Faye since her capture. Her deranged alter ego had been worryingly absent, and even worse, silent. Kim had figured that she was lying low, since she could still feel Faye lurking in like hibernating snake at the bottom of the brain. "Faye?" she asked. "Keep your mouth shut. You want to play another round of where will electros go next?" Kim bit her lip and reassigned herself to what was going to be the strangest conversation she would ever have in her life. "Where the hell have you been?" "What do you care? I figured you'd be grateful for the break." "Cute. Putting out the brave front, huh? Noble, stupid, but noble." "It's not a front." "Sure it is. When you're about to accept the fact that I know what I feel what you feel. When I'm awake anyway." "Is there a point to all this? Or are you just gloating?" "You're dying, Kim." "Yeah, right. I suppose I deserve that. I'm not lying, Kim. You know that I've done a lot of horrible, wonderful things. But have I ever lied to you?" "Clearly you need proof. Close your eyes." "Why? So you could take control again? So I could share with you what I can feel and hear. I promise I won't take control unless you say so. Seriously, what do you have got to lose?" "All right." Kim took a deep breath and closed her eyes. She had fought to keep them from opening again as she suddenly heard pounding of her heart. The aphrodisiacal pounding of her heart. She felt the blood flowing in her veins and arteries slowing down. She could hear the synapses of her brain as they fired a few intervals. Then her nerve endings were singing of over-exaggeration, and every little nick and cut and fracture like an agony. "How do you put up with this?" "I don't. You're the one hurting like this, Kim. Not me." "Well, I thought we shared the damage we took." "Not anymore. I figured how to keep it separate. No reason for the both of us to be hurting on a regular basis." Kim shifted on the bed and bit down sharply on her lip, blinding pain as it moved throughout her body. "Stop it! Stop it, please!" "Whoops. Sorry." Deep breaths. Kim then took several deep breaths, returning her breathing to normal as the pain receded to its previous level. She gingerly rolled back to her original position and opened her eyes. "What do you want?" "I want to help." "I seriously doubt that." "Fine, I want control permanently." "Not a chance in hell." Thank you to the old that's so typical Kim Possible response. You know it's going to happen. Even if they say they were torturing you in an effort to force you to change, you have to realize that I'm stronger than the two of us now. It's happening whether you want it or not. So why just let it happen now? Because I'm not dead yet. I can still figure out a way out of here. Save everyone, and the room then gets filled with knockout gas the second you get up to go to that door. Global Justice knows your tricks, Kim. That's one of the dangers you're having your allies turn on you. They know how to keep you neutralized. They'll do the same to you. But they don't know all my tricks. Hell, to be honest, even I don't even know all my tricks yet. I'm not letting you loose on the world. I won't be responsible for that. And once again, typical stupidly noble response. And again, I say to you, it's going to happen anyway. You've got about 2 days left. Then you die. You die with me. ICAT 1 doesn't get either of us. Sounds like I win. Really, what about Ron? What? What about Ron or his parents? Your parents, the Dweebs. What about Hannah? Kim? You won't be able to do anything. They're safe. I wasn't talking about me. Do you really think ICAT 1 is going to let them go once we croak? They ain't going to risk getting out the damage Global Justice reputation. They're all loose ends. And I think we can get some sort of solution to ICAD's has one loose ends. Let me out. Let me out. I promise they'll be safe. No one will lay a hand on any of them. I don't trust you. Which means you're a complete idiot. But I will get them out. And we'll leave them alone once they're safe. They'll never see me again. Never? Never, in fact. I'll go so far as call the entire Tri-City region off limits. Come on, Kim. Deep down you know they'll never be safe unless I get them out of here. You don't have strength anymore. I do. Let me do it. Free conditions. Go. You get everyone else safely, including Dr. Director. You disappear once they're back home. Done. And the third? Make them suffer for what they've done to all of us. You sure? No backtracks once it happens? No more rules. Wipe the floor with them. Now you're talking. Sir? Will Do then turned around at the sound of security tech's voice. He then walked over to the monitoring station. What is it? Movement from possible cells, sir. Show me. Do watch as the tech rewound the video on the screen, keeping the live feed open for another. On the playback, Possible collapsed on her bunk, facing the wall. She lay there for a few minutes, shifting slightly a couple minutes. She then shivered, and Du swore he had seen her body a blur. Possible was still again afterwards. He then looked over at the live feed. Possible stood up, keeping her back to the camera. Du watched as she stretched her arms over her head and bent from side to side, working out the kinks in her muscles. She seemed stronger than she had been when they threw her back in the cell. Healthier, almost as if... Du grabbed by a nearby phone and punched in the extension. Sir, it's Du. We have Morgan. Repeat, we have Morgan. Du then listened to ICAD 1's voice as he continued to monitor the cell. Morgan turned, showing her face for the first time. Her expression was barely concealed glee. She then grinned widely, waving at the camera. She's taunting us on camera, sir. Should I activate the gas? Not yet, ICAD 1 replied. I want to see what she'll do first. Have the pacification squad standing by. Yes, sir. Du then lowered his handset and spoke to the security tech. Tell the pacification squad to be on alert and wait in the corridor. We don't know what she's going to try. The tech nodded and sent out an alert. Meanwhile, Morgan stood in the middle of the cell, her hands on her hips, surveying the room. Good. You guys don't even waste any money on frills, do you? Came the voice over her microphone. It seems a shame, really. You may have saved yourself a lot of grief, because I am bored. Very, very bored. Morgan then walked over to where there was only other furnishing in the room, a metal chair and a table, both bolted to the ground. She then looked at the chair and gripped it with one hand, and with a grunt of extermination, ripped it from the bolts from the floor and held it up. And when I'm bored, stuff has the tendency to get broken. Like, say, noisy security cameras? Ta-da! And with that, she hurled the chair over at the camera and the feed went dark. Du then grabbed the radio headset from the security tech, slapped the button that activated the knockout gas. Squad A, we have a security breach. Knockout gas is filling the room. Masks on and restrain the subject. Roger that, came the squad leader's voice. Masks on, entering the holding cell. Visibility is low. Gas hasn't cleared. Wait, I think I see something. Doing the security tech winced at the sound of violent beatings coming over the radio. The members of the squad screamed and yelled, firing rubbery bullets at random around the room. There were screams of pain and the sounds of bodies hitting the floor like sacks of meat. Within 20 seconds, the sounds have stopped. Nothing but the hiss of the ventilation fans as they sucked the knockout gas out of the cell. Squad leader, report, Duaz said quietly. Squad leader, report. Did you neutralize the subject? The sound of breathing filled the speakers, then laying out a sing-song voice in the airwaves. No more mercy. No more fools. No more of Kimmy's stupid rules. You can't escape, Morgan, Dew said. The base is on lockdown. There's no way out. Who says I want to get out? Morgan replied with a sharp little laugh. It's much more fun to have than rats scurrying around trying to stay alive. Catch me if you can, Willie. The radio expired with a sharp whine of feedback as Morgan destroyed the radio. Dew tore it off the headset and looked down at the security tech. Red alert, every squad on the ready. Get the agents and the identities. As the tech activated the alarms, Dew picked the phone back up. Sir, I suggest clearing out as quickly as you can. I think we should take every precaution, just to be on the safe side. Yes, sir. Honestly, sir, while possible look to be on her last legs, Morgan doesn't. I honestly don't know what to expect. Yes, sir, I would say that. Yes, sir, I'll keep you posted. Dew hung up the phone and then put the radio on the headset again, tuned it to an all-access frequency. Attention agents, we are at red alert. Pete, we are at red alert. Be ready for anything, people. The monster is loose.